Ladies and gentlemen, say what you will, but the world we live in is more of a cartoon than Sonic the Hedgehog 3 ever will be. And why is that? Because it is disqualified from winning Best Picture. Because it's not diverse enough. Welcome back to Words Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle. And yeah, if you hadn't heard, the Academy says that Sonic 3 is ineligible to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Now, let's be fair. I'm going to be completely and utterly fair with you guys in that Sonic 3 was never going to win Best Picture anyway. Like, it probably wasn't even going to be put up for Best Picture, let alone win it. Now, it will probably win other categories, maybe Best Animated Feature if it counts as an animated feature, or Best Family Film. We might see several of the actors like Idris Elba, Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, of course. Maybe they'll get nods for Oscars, but in terms of Best Picture, it wasn't going to be nominated to begin with. But the reason it's not nominated is hilarious. The fact that they said it's disqualified for failing due to diversity is glorious. So we're going to get into this before we do hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. And I get it. You might not pay attention to, oh, look, this is just some account on X espousing nonsense. But then you got Pirate Nation here, which makes things worse with this poorly worded tweet. This is the reason why Sonic 3 was not eligible for an Oscar. It is eligible for an Oscar. It's just not eligible for Best Picture. But let's take a look at these reasonings, and I've got the actual websites to back this up. So we're going to do a little bit of deep dive and talk about how insane DEI has become. The fact that DEI is now a standard that needs to be met for your film to even be considered for Best Picture. It does not matter if you put in all the work with the best team, the best crew, made literally the best picture of the year. If you didn't meet these arbitrary standards that, focus on things like sexuality and skin color, which shouldn't matter at the end of your overall product, you will not get the accolades you might so desperately deserve. Standard entry for Raise meets 2 of 4 standards in order to be eligible to be nominated. Standard A, on-screen representation, themes, and narratives. Now, hold on. Doesn't Sonic have that? One of the lead actors or significant supporting actor is from an underrated, shouldn't you say underrepresented? Like, hey, black people, Muslims, they're underrated. Like, underrepresented might be the better word here. Racial or ethnic group. Well, we already have that in Sonic the Hedgehog, by the way, because Knuckles is played by Idris Elba, who is black. Tom's wife, I'm blanking on the actress's name, I apologize. She's black, she's great. Colleen O'Shaughnessy plays Tails, that's a woman. Lee Majjoub, I apologize if I butchered that name. Eggman's henchman, he is some sort of brown. And while Keanu Reeves isn't black, Shadow is absolutely black. At least 30% of actors in minor roles are from at least 2 underrepresented groups, including women, racial, ethnic, LGBT, disabled. Look, I ain't so sure that Jim Carrey ain't disabled at this point, but that's neither here nor there. We also had the chick that plays, the sister of the wife who was black, and her husband who was black. So clearly we've got plenty of diversity in the Sonic films. Not that it matters. Getting that diversity taken away when it would not have improved or diminished the quality of the film. It's a good quality film on its own. But yes, so we're gonna actually go to the website for this right here, because I think it's very important. This is the rules and eligibility for the 97th Oscars. And when you come here, eligibility in the Best Picture category is contingent upon submission of the representation and inclusion entry from Raise. Now, Raise being their version of DEI. Representation and inclusion, like, specialties. I don't remember the exact standards. Right here. Representation and inclusion standards. That's what that stands for. Now, if you want to look up what the actual rules are, representation and inclusion standards rules, they have to meet several, criteria. In standard, they have to meet 2 criteria and 4 standards. So you got standard A, B, C, or D. If you meet any of the 2 criteria between these 4, you're in. Standard A, and again, we went through a little bit of this already, is at least actors of significant supporting actors submitted for Oscar consideration from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. We know that Sonic nails that. It also does it for general ensemble cast. So technically, Sonic the Hedgehog does meet standard A. So really we gotta look at B, C, and D. Creative leadership and project team. Creative leadership and department heads. At least 2 of the following creative leadership positions in department heads: casting director, cinematographer, composer, costume designer, director, editor, hairstylist, makeup artist, producer, production designer, yada yada yada, has to be from an underrepresented group. It may include women, or racial, LGBTQ+, people with cognitive or physical disabilities. Now, look, I'm gonna be real. I'm sure the motherfuckers on set doing the hairstyling for Sonic the Hedgehog may have fallen into one of these groups. I'm just saying, like, statistically, let's be real. What happened is, yeah, Paramount just didn't even put the movie up. They didn't put forth, is my assumption. They didn't even put forth for consideration, because you have to actually fill out paperwork to say you met these requirements. I doubt Paramount even filled out the paperwork, but maybe they did. Let's say they did and they were denied, they were rejected, because there really isn't any way to know. But that would just mean that the movie is being slandered for not having diversity when there is, in fact, diversity there. And also, this should be part of a bigger conversation about who cares if there's diversity in the film. What should matter is, are we getting a good product? Are we getting a quality product that fans and customers the world over are spending money on? By the way, clearly we are when you look at the box office for Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's see, standard C, industry access and opportunities. Paid apprenticeship or internship opportunities. Again, women, or racial, ethnic group, LGBT+, or people with cognitive. So basically, we need to give paid apprenticeships or internships to these people purely because of what's between their legs or not between their legs, or the color of their skin, or who they like to fuck, or whether or not they are quite literally retarded when you go off of these eligibility standards right here. Or training and opportunities and skills development. Again, literally this entire thing, it is actual DEI checkboxing. There's nothing beyond, like, I know what people want to say that, oh, these anti-wokers, they use the term, it's like a checkbox. We're looking at a checkbox. We are being told right now in real time by the Oscars, you cannot even be nominated for Best Picture unless you check these boxes. Standard D. Standard D, audience development, representation and development, marketing, publicity, and distribution. The studio and or film company has more than one in-house senior executives or hired consultants belonging to at least 2 underrepresented groups or their creative development. So now it ain't good enough to just be a woman or from a racial group, LGBT, or have kind of abilities. You need to meet 2 of these for option number D here. You tell me being black ain't good enough, you gotta be a black woman. Or being a woman ain't good enough, you gotta be a woman that likes to, you gotta be a carpet muncher, basically. You gotta be a woman that also likes to lick the pussy. Guys, we remember that this is a family, children, kids movie, all ages, about, honestly, CGI generated furry creatures. If anything, if we want to talk about real diversity, if we want to talk about true diversity here, this might be the most diverse movie of all time, because, I mean, Sonic, he and Shadow are like the only talking hedgehogs in the world. Knuckles probably the only talking echidna. Tails probably the only talking fox. And they live with an interracial couple. I mean, like that's diversity right there. Also, I guarantee you that Sonic and Shadow were the first hedgehogs in space. Tails was the first fox in space. Knuckles was the first echidna in space. Jim Carrey and Dr. Jail Robotnik is probably the first time a grandfather-grandson combo went to space. Again, if we want to just narrow down the diversity in this film, we can find it. Now, as far as the back end of the movie goes, look, I don't know who worked on the film. I don't care. I applaud anyone and everyone for working on it, because they did a good job, because the movie came out fantastic. It is literally the best of the 3 Sonic movies thus far. But the idea that we in this sort of quote-unquote anti-woke space or sphere or whatever it be called, it can be lambasted for using DEI as a pejorative, saying, oh, it's racist to say DEI. Oh, it's just a bunch of angry MAGA people claiming DEI. We've got the Oscars using the term. We've got actually pretty much every major political and financial corporation and industry out there using those terminologies and wanting to boost it up. So no, just using the term DEI, not only is it not an insult or not racist, but saying it's checkbox hiring, which has been used as a pejorative, should be used as a pejorative, because we now see these eligibility rules demanding checkbox hiring. And because of that, what might be the most celebrated family film of the year, aside from maybe, Inside Out 2, isn't going to be eligible for consideration, because you know good goddamn well Inside Out 2 is going to be eligible, because Disney did anything and everything, I can guarantee you, did anything and everything to make sure all their bases were covered. But I bet there wasn't a straight white dude that worked on Inside Out 2. Now again, do I care? Not at all. Inside Out 2 was actually a really good movie. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it. Inside Out 2 was probably the best Disney's been since like 2013. But I guarantee you it was a bunch of homos and darkies working on the back of the show. Hey, if it made a good product, it made a good product. That's all that matters to me. I ain't gonna look it up. I don't care. I just want to be entertained by my film. But the idea that people that did put their, blood, sweat, tears, heart, soul into making these products and doing it in a way that actually honors the fans, which no other studio cares about nowadays, is getting attacked, and because they don't meet some sort of arbitrary definitions of what should be diversity that should hypothetically help a film, even though there's no statistics or data to back that up. Let's be real. It's absolute bullshit, and frankly, I just thought it was kind of funny. I don't get it why people are actually actually enraged about Sonic not getting to be Best Picture. It was never gonna be Best Picture to begin with. Again, there's movies that came out this year that are like actual paragons of cinema. I love Sonic, and it's a good fun movie and a good Sonic movie. But yeah, the point is, Sonic is a very good and easy way to highlight to individuals who might not know about what's going on in the back end of Hollywood what this DEI checkbox hiring actually does, which is stifle any and all sorts of creativity. Because imagine now, you're a movie producer, you're a director, you're someone on the back end, and you want to craft the expertly made film. You want to make your magnum opus, and now you're probably going to pass on some people that might be the best for the job, because instead you got to hire these diversity clowns. That is bullshit. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news nearly every day. Not always about Sonic the Hedgehog or the movie industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 150 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity, but only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.